Hello, I'm George Pashev again, and I'll be presenting our second paper for this conference, titled Using Software Solutions for Quality Assessment in School Education, by a large number of authors from the University of Plovdiv, Paisii Hilendarski, including Silvia Gaftandzhieva, Mariya Docheva, and me. The content of our presentation follows the content of our paper. So, the first part is the main question: why do we need to measure teaching quality in schools? Well, we need to measure quality in order to enhance evidence based decisions. Somehow, even in the outdated high school education system, one day maybe there will be a shift towards evidence based decision making in education, and it will be driven by the need to ground policies in measurable outcomes rather than someone's intuition or political beliefs. So, this approach ensures that educational interventions are effective and aligned with broader socioeconomic goals. So, we aim for efficiency, equity, quality to meet socioeconomic challenges. We need to support growing school autonomy that necessitates accountability, rapid advancements in information technology, policy culture that relies on measurable outcomes rather than some kind of political beliefs. So, quality assurance in education must evolve from mere compliance checks to measuring the actual impact of ongoing educational practices on learners. We need blended assessment model for internal self-evaluation and external validation, governed by standardized criteria, and metrics provides comprehensive view of school performance and to support sustainable long-term development. And by this model, we can achieve continuous improvement. We can identify areas that can be improved. We can implement targeted interventions and track progress over time. That's all about our goal. We need continuous improvement. Our four-stage quality assessment cycles include structured assessment strategy. The generic model structures quality assessment into four usable stages: criteria and instrument design, school self evaluation, external expert review, and comparative analytics. Each of these stages builds on previous one to provide a holistic view of school performance. So the first stage involves developing domain maps, quantitative and qualitative indicators, calibrated rubrics, required evidence sets, published methodologies, awaited tools. So this stage lays the foundation for consistent and comprehensive assessment. And maybe the process is going to be somehow circular. I mean, criteria improvement and redesign is also an essential part for this four-stage cycle. The schools upload evidence into a structured repository, and external evaluators apply the same rubric to score indicator in draft recommendations. A targeted AI agents can facilitate this process. When a school uploads evidence, evidence criteria can be automatically extracted by using AI agents. Comparative analytics: aggregated results from assessments power and analytics layer that visualizes progress, identifies system weaknesses, and ranks institutions. So it's a data-driven approach. We need also the so-called version controlling because preparation defines domain map. We need quantitative and qualitative indicators calibrated rubrics share, required evidence sets, published methodology, MQ, and weighted rules. All elements are version controlled to secure consistency across schools and evaluation waves. Schools put evidence into structured warehouse W. External evaluators apply the identical rubric score into indicator and draft recommendations. The consolidated report re-enters W with role-based successful schools, municipalities, and so on. The consolidated report is stored into a digital repository with role-based access, ensuring that stakeholders at different levels can access relevant information to inform their decision and drive improvements. I would say that using repositories that naturally support semantic indexing, like Elastic, for example, is a necessity. So we go to stage 4, which is benchmarking, aggregated results from assessments, power, and analytics layer that visualizes progress. It identifies systematic weaknesses and ranks institutions. This data-driven approach supports targeted interventions and continuous improvement. Lessons learned from each assessment cycle look back to refine criteria, ensuring that framework evolves. That's why I previously said that these indicators are subject to change. By benchmarking performance and refining criteria, the assessment model supports continuous improvement in educational quality, ensuring that schools meet evolving standards and expectations. So, where does our AI approach comes into handy? SchoolQA is a modular web platform that operationalizes the four-stage model. We've got core engines that handle criteria modeling, procedure orchestration, evidence capture, scoring algorithms, segregated analytics, and report generation. These still don't include the AI. The platform is role-based, the UI is role-based. I mean, more or less each platform supports this. Here are the seven subsystems and how we validated all these things. Now, a 10-day pilot in October 2022, a small primary school in Bulgaria with 50 people staff and a large socio-secondary school with 100 people staff. The pilot validated technical stability, criterion relevance, and user acceptance under realistic conditions. The pilot exercise validated the system's technical stability and criterion relevance under realistic workloads, ensuring that the platform can handle diverse educational settings and user needs effectively. And user acceptance was also a key focus of the pilot, ensuring that stakeholders found the system intuitive and valuable. So, in the experiment, we got two schools from two quite different regions of the country. We've got these experiment indicators. We've got, for example, 12 quantitative indicators on teaching activity. We've got 15 quantitative indicators of evaluation of learning outcomes, and so on and so on, which totaling 101 number of quantitative indicators and 34 quality indicators, which totals 135 distinct indicators. I mean, with different statistic algorithms, we can uh, calculate information gain for each of these indicators and say which is more important or which is less important. But more or less, this will be the work for future works. So this is our screen for part of our scorecard. This is a summary evaluation report generated by the system for the Sofia City School. These are summary reports with assessments by indicators with average scores. So we need to scale and we need to innovate more. The next steps include nationwide phased rollout of the platform, ensuring that schools across the country can benefit from systems capabilities. We need app integration with ministry databases and evaluated training programs to ensure seamless data flow and user proficiency. We need continuous improvement, continuous user feedback with refined rubrics. We need to work more on our AI generated feedbacks. I mean, we have these quality assessment reports, but after that, an AI agent can take these reports and generate more in depth feedback for school management, for teachers in the school, etc. etc. This project is financed by Project MYPD, Modern Approaches and Solutions for Successful Digital Transformation, and funded by a scientific research fund at the University of Plovdiv. So this is only the beginning of a big project that is going to scale well. I believe we need to incorporate more and more AI functions with different AIs. We need to rewire, rewrite our architecture to be able to use different expert AI agents for different things. We need to make more and more statistical analysis for the data we received and we're going to receive to see our preliminary indicators, how to change them, how to improve them. So all of this is going to be more or less part of future works. And everything aims to make the school management more proficient in their decisions, what and how to change in maybe their teaching techniques. But whatever we do, there is a big constraint, and the big constraint is the Ministry of Education, which doesn't give distinct schools more academic freedom like they give to the universities, for example. But maybe in the future, schools will be getting more and more freedom on how to do their own work, and then the usage of systems like this one will become more and more essential for each of the schools if they want to evaluate properly, you know, their work and where do they need improvements. So, in case of questions, I'll be happy to hear them and discuss them. But remember that I am the one that is more capable to answer questions about development rather than methodology, which is part of the other author's work. But as much as I am prepared, I can answer also methodological questions. So thank you for hearing my presentations, and I'll be welcoming your questions.